Welcome to page 2 of this lesson. I want to briefly go over this concept and emphasize how important it is. So first of all, you may notice this learning goal up here that says, list the building blocks of medical terms and describe how they are used to form new words, giving specific examples. This may seem like you're not learning structures, you're not learning physiology, but this is actually one of the most important things that's going to help you be successful in the course, is learning how to break down words into their parts. Okay, so if we go down here, and you can watch this video, it gives an example of the father from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, talking about everything goes back to Greek. Well, it turns out with anatomy and physiology, that's actually quite true. Most words do go back to Greek or Latin. And what you're going to do is there's different parts of these words. They smush them together. So you're going to have roots, prefixes, which means it goes at the front of the word, suffixes, which means it goes at the end of the word. And whenever you put these little parts of words together, they're going to change the meaning. And the reason why this is going to help you is because there's going to be a lot of new terminology. And if you can start to recognize some of these roots, then you don't have to memorize as much. And so let me give you a few examples here. So for example, one, we're going to have this word costal. Okay, so anytime you see the word costal, then you're going to know that that refers to ribs. Okay, so the reason why this is going to be helpful is because we're going to be talking about things such as costal cartilage. Where do you think that cartilage is located? It's located near the ribs. We're going to be talking about intercostal muscles. Where are those muscles going to be located? Between the ribs. So this is just one example of how understanding that costal always refers to ribs, well, then you don't necessarily have to memorize these names as separate. You kind of know that it's always going to be something associated with the ribs. Some other examples. If you see this, chondra, that's always going to refer to cartilage. And so, for example, we can have the word chondrocyte. Well, if you also know that cyte equals cell, then what we're literally talking about is a cartilage cell. Okay? And so it seems like a strange word, but in reality it's not. You're also going to see things like perichondrium. Sounds like a big word. Well, in fact, having this and knowing that anytime I see chondra, oh, I misspelled that. Anytime I see chondra, that's going to refer to cartilage. You know, it has something to do with cartilage. Okay? So another example where we can put different things together. Anytime you see os, that usually refers to bone. Okay? So you think about this. If we have osteocyte, well, what might that be? It's going to be osteo, which the os refers to bone, cyte refers to cell, and so this literally is referring to a bone cell. Okay? We can also, so that's just another example there as well. We can also have directional terms. We're going to learn that superior means above, okay? And so we have this thing supra. Anytime you see supra, it's going to mean superior, okay? So you can have things like the supraspinatus. Well, supra means above. This here refers to a spine, so it's going to be above a spine. We can look for supra-orbital fissure. And again, supra is going to be above, And we're going to learn later, whenever we talk about bone markings, that orbital is going to refer to the eye socket. And we know that fissure is going to be a large kind of hole through a bone. And so instead of having to memorize every single little name, you can say supraorbital fissure. What does that word actually mean? And then you look for it. You don't have to necessarily memorize these as separate words. So this is actually going to be a huge skill. I'll try and point things out to you as the semester progresses, where there are key words or roots, prefixes, or suffixes that you should be aware of. But as you're going through and reading, take the time to try and understand what some of these words mean, or look in your textbook to get clues for this, because this is going to be a huge help to you as you deal with the vocabulary of this course.